Taurus, like a giant wave you see in the distance but hasn't yet reached you. Your body already knows what your mind is trying to ignore. The first Sunday of November isn't just another day on the calendar. It's Harvest Day. It's the day when everything, absolutely everything you've planted over the last 6 months will finally sprout and manifest in your physical reality. And I'm not talking about vague spiritual metaphors. I'm talking about concrete, tangible results, impossible to deny. On that particular Sunday, you'll wake up and realize that your life has fundamentally changed overnight. The question that haunts you now, even if you try not to think about it, is, what exactly did you plant? Your subconscious is warning you that the time for reckoning has arrived. Everything you've done since the beginning of the year, every choice, every word, every action, every intention, will materialize all at once on this first Sunday of November. And you will no longer be able to pretend you don't see the consequences of what you've built. For Taurus, there is something profoundly significant about harvests. You are of the earth element. You instinctively understand that everything has its time to ripen, that seeds take time to transform into fruit. You have the patience to wait for results because you know that solid constructions don't happen overnight. But now, the planting cycle has ended. It's time to see if what you cultivated during these months will bear sweet or bitter fruit. And here's the part that makes you anxious. You know that not everything you planted was with pure intentions. There were times when you acted out of anger and planted seeds of resentment. Times when you acted out of fear and planted seeds of self-sabotage. Times when you knew what was right but chose the easy way out, planting seeds of mediocre compromise. And now those seeds are also ready to sprout, along with all the good things you've built. The first Sunday of November marks the point where you can no longer change what you have sown. You can only receive what is growing. It's like being on a moving train. You can see your destination approaching, but you can no longer get off or change direction. The feeling is simultaneously terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because you will have to face the consequences of all your choices. Liberating because this tension of waiting, this anxiety of not knowing when the results will appear, will finally end. You've been avoiding thinking about certain decisions you've made in recent months, haven't you? You've been pushing those choices you made, knowing they weren't entirely right, to the back of your mind. You've been trying not to calculate how much time is left before the consequences of what you did, or failed to do, manifest. But your Taurus body, always connected to natural cycles, always attuned to the time of planting and harvesting, knows exactly what's coming. What will happen this first Sunday is neither punishment nor reward from the universe. It is simply the natural law of manifestation reaching its point of maturity. It is spiritual physics functioning exactly as it was designed to function. You plant, you nurture, or don't nurture, you reap the result. No exceptions, no free passes, no possibility of negotiating with time. For those born in Taurus between April 20th and April 30th, what will manifest this Sunday is mainly related to relationships you have cultivated or neglected. You will clearly see who is truly by your side and who was merely taking advantage of what you offered. For those born between May 1st and May 10th, the harvest will be primarily professional or financial, direct results of how you have managed your resources and talents. And for those born between May 11th and May 20th, what will appear this Sunday is related to your physical and emotional health, a direct result of how you have treated your own body and inner peace. The preparation you need to do now isn't about trying to change the results. It's too late for that. It's about being mentally and emotionally ready to receive whatever comes. If you planted good things, if you acted with integrity, if you made conscious choices even when they were difficult, then the first Sunday of November will be one of the best days of your life. You will wake up and realize that everything you fought to build has finally solidified into physical reality. But if you know there were moments of weakness, negligence, choices based on fear or laziness, then you need to prepare to reap those seeds as well. And preparation isn't about punishing yourself or feeling guilty now. It's about being ready to take full responsibility, to look the results in the eye without looking away, to say, yes, this is a consequence of what I did, and now I'm going to deal with it. Taurus, there is something profoundly liberating about stopping running from the consequences of our own actions. You've been carrying an underlying anxiety for weeks, maybe months, because a part of you knows you've planted some things you don't want to harvest. But after you harvest, after the result manifests and you have to deal with it, the anxiety ends. The waiting is over. And you can finally begin a new planting cycle, this time with the wisdom of what you've learned. Taurus, I know you're feeling a chill down your spine right now. You're doing a quick mental review of the last few weeks and months, trying to figure out exactly what will manifest this Sunday. You're remembering specific moments where you made choices that now leave you uncomfortable. And maybe you're also remembering the good things you did, the positive seeds you planted, but afraid that they won't be enough to compensate for the mistakes. I need you to take a deep breath now and acknowledge something important. You did the best you could at the time you did it, not with the information and clarity you have today, but with what you knew and felt at the time. And now you are being called not to punish yourself for imperfect choices, but to be courageously present when the results appear. Leave a comment saying, I planted what I could with what I had, and I'm ready to harvest. This is not just a comment. It's a declaration of spiritual maturity. It's you acknowledging that you accept the principle of cause and effect, that you won't run from the results, that you're willing to face both abundant and scarce harvests with the same presence. And when you write this, you're helping other Taurians to have the courage to do the same, to stop running and start accepting. What makes the first Sunday of November so significant is not just the day itself, but everything it represents. November is the month where nature clearly shows the cycle of death and rebirth. The leaves fall, revealing the bare structure of the trees. What wasn't strong enough doesn't survive the approaching winter. What was well built remains firm. And for you, Taurus, who has such a deep connection with natural cycles, this first Sunday serves as the moment where your own life undergoes this same revelation. Everything that wasn't solid in your life will crumble on this day. Relationships based on convenience or habit instead of true love will show their cracks in a way that's impossible to ignore. Projects you kept alive only out of stubbornness, without real energy, will finally die. Patterns you repeated without questioning will prove unsustainable. And it will hurt, Taurus. It will hurt to see things you spent months or years building crumble in a matter of hours. But at the same time, everything you built with integrity, with real love, with genuine work, will prove indestructible. It will solidify in ways you never imagined possible. That person you chose to love even when it was difficult will show their true loyalty. That project in which you invested real energy, not just time, will bear fruit beyond your expectations. That habit you cultivated with discipline will show results that transform your life. The first Sunday test isn't about the universe judging you. It's about reality, showing you exactly what your actions have created. It's pure spiritual physics. Energy applied with intention generates results proportional to the quality of that energy. There's no mystery in it, there's no injustice. It's simply cause and effect manifesting at the right time. You're probably wondering, how do I know exactly what's going to happen? The answer lies in what you've been avoiding looking at the most in recent weeks. That situation you know is pending, but you've been putting off. That conversation you need to have, but keep postponing. That project that's almost ready, but you can't finish. That decision you know you need to make, but keep making excuses for. What you fear most is probably exactly what is most ripe to manifest. Not because the universe is cruel, but because what you fear usually indicates where you planted with the least awareness, where you acted on impulse instead of clear intention, where you let fear guide your choices instead of wisdom. In the coming days, leading up to Sunday, you will feel an intensification of everything. Emotions will become stronger. Situations that were in a fragile balance will begin to definitively tip to one side or the other. People will show their true colors more clearly. It's as if everything is accelerating to reach the point of maturation on that specific day. And you, Taurus, with your nature that prefers stability and predictability, will find this period of acceleration particularly uncomfortable. You'll want to slow things down, maintain control, prevent everything from culminating so quickly. But you won't be able to, because when a seed is ready to sprout, there's no stopping the process. You can only witness and receive what is born. What will surprise you on the first Sunday isn't necessarily what will happen. Deep down you already know, but the clarity with which you'll understand everything. Suddenly, patterns you couldn't see will become obvious. Connections between your past actions and your present reality will become crystal clear. You'll have those "now I understand" moments about situations that have confused you for months. This clarity can be brutal, because once you see it, you can no longer pretend you don't. Once you understand how your own choices created your current reality, you can no longer blame anyone or anything external. And for someone who values security like you, this total responsibility can seem daunting, but it is also profoundly empowering. Because if you created this with your choices, it means you can create something different with different choices from now on. The first Sunday of November marks not only the end of a harvest cycle, but the beginning of a new planting cycle. And this time, you will plant with much more awareness than you planted before. The pain you may feel when reaping negative results is not punishment. It's education. It's the universe undeniably showing you which actions lead to which results. It's like touching a hot stove. It hurts, but it instantly teaches you not to do it again. And Taurians learn very well through concrete and tangible experiences. Abstract concepts may not convince you, but real results, which you can touch and feel, change you forever. If this Sunday you reap mostly positive results, you will feel a profound validation of everything you have done. You will realize that the hard work was worth it, that the difficult choices were the right ones, that you were on the right path even when you doubted yourself. And this confirmation will give you fuel and confidence to continue building at the same level of integrity. But I need to be honest. Most people, including those born under Taurus, will reap a mixture. Some wonderful results that will bring genuine joy, some painful results that will require courage to face. And the wisdom lies in receiving both with the same presence, in celebrating what has flourished without clinging, and in accepting what has died without despairing. Taurus, there's a reason you're an earth sign. You instinctively understand that in nature, death and life are part of the same cycle, that for something new to grow, something old needs to decompose and become compost. That winter isn't punishment, it's preparation for spring. And what will happen on the first Sunday of November follows that same natural logic. What needs to die in your life will die that day. No matter how much you try to hold on, no matter how many excuses you make. If it wasn't meant to survive, it will end, and that will free up space and energy for what needs to be born next. But you need to let the process happen. You need to stop holding on to things that are already dead, just because you're afraid of the emptiness that will remain. And what needs to bloom will bloom with a force that will surprise you. Those things you cultivated with true love, with consistent work, with pure intention, will manifest in ways that surpass even your best expectations. Because when you plant with total integrity, the result always exceeds what you imagined possible. In the days leading up to Sunday, observe your own behavior. You will notice that you are trying to control things you cannot control, trying to advance or delay events, trying to manipulate situations to obtain specific results. This is fear speaking. It is your need for security trying to block out the unknown. But true security doesn't come from controlling external circumstances. It comes from trusting your ability to handle whatever happens. And you have that ability, Taurus. You are stronger than you imagine. You've been through other harvest cycles in life. You've faced difficult outcomes before, and you've always found a way to get up and start planting again. The first Sunday of November won't destroy you, no matter what manifests. At worst, it will transform you. It will force you to evolve, to grow, to become a more mature and self-aware version of yourself. And at best, it will validate you and encourage you to continue exactly on the path you're on. Prepare yourself by not creating rigid expectations about what should or shouldn't happen. Prepare yourself by cultivating an attitude of openness and acceptance, a willingness to see the truth even when it's uncomfortable, courage to celebrate success without guilt and to face failure without self-destruction. And above all, Taurus, prepare to be kind to yourself. No matter what you reap this Sunday, you are so much more than the results of a cycle. You are a being in constant evolution, eternally planting and harvesting, learning and growing. A bad result doesn't define you. It's just information about what not to do next time. The first Sunday of November will pass, the results will manifest, the harvest will happen, and on the following Monday, you will wake up with the opportunity to begin a new planting cycle, wiser, more conscious, more prepared, and with a whole life still ahead to practice the art of consciously planting and harvesting with gratitude. Subscribe to the channel, because whatever happens after this Sunday will also require guidance. You'll need support to process the results, to start the new planting cycle wisely, and to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Activate notifications to receive content that will help you navigate not only this harvest season, but all future cycles with more awareness and less fear. The first Sunday is approaching, the harvest will happen, and you are stronger than you imagine to receive what you have sown.